Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today I will analyze the case of Levente Lazar. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Levente Lazar was born on March 7, 1992, in Hungary. When he was 5 years old, his father died, and he and his mother, Athena Valentini, moved to California. Athena had various romantic partners over the years, including one man who was like a father to Levente. In 2011, Athena started working for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. In 2013, she took a job as a licensed vocational nurse at the California Men's Colony State Prison. Athena lived in a 1,000-square-foot condominium on 251 South 9th Street in Grover Beach. This is about 3.5 hours from Los Angeles. She also owned a condominium in Woodland Hills, about an hour from Los Angeles. She rented this out to make extra money. At some point, Levente moved to Bloomington, Indiana, to pursue a master's degree in history. He also had a girlfriend in that area. Earlier, I mentioned how one of Athena's prior romantic partners was like a father to Levente. Evidently, this man left him an annuity, which was Levente's primary source of income. Levente received a $97,000 payout from the annuity in 2017 and was due a $236,000 payout in 2022 when he turned 30. Despite having this source of income, Levente ran into financial problems trying to be a day trader. He ended up losing $49,000 in the stock market. Other debt was also plaguing him. He owed $69,000 in student loans and $12,000 to the IRS. Levente ended up making a deal to sell his annuity for a reduced amount. He was hoping the sale would be approved in November of 2018. Instead of $236,000 in 2022, he would receive $186,000 in 2018. He wanted the money early and was willing to take a $50,000 reduction. Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On October 25, 2018, co-workers of Athena Valentini notified the police because she never showed up for work in the morning. A couple of correctional officers were sent to her condominium, but they were not allowed to enter without the police being present. When an officer arrived, they explained how Athena was missing, and the officer made entry with the correctional officers right behind him. At 11:48 a.m., the men discovered Athena's body on her bedroom floor. Here is what the police found during the course of their investigation. Athena had been stabbed as many as 10 times in the neck. The murder had occurred late on October 24. Sometime prior to the murder, Athena executed a will that named her son Levente as the sole beneficiary of her retirement account. Levente sent an email to a real estate agent inquiring about the value of his mother's rental condominium in Woodland Hills. He made internet searches inquiring as to whether murderers could inherit and how probate worked. He also searched about driving across the United States and directions to Grover Beach. These suspicious behaviors made Levente an obvious potential suspect. The police tracked his movements in the time around the murder. On October 22, 2 days before the murder, Levente entered a Best Buy store about a half mile from his residence in Bloomington, Indiana, and asked for a burner phone. He ended up purchasing a Cricket prepaid cell phone using the fabricated name Jacob Keith, and listed a P.O. box in Cincinnati, Ohio, as the address. Levente already had a cell phone. His regular phone was a Samsung Galaxy. Now he was carrying two phones. Cell phone data indicated that the Cricket phone traveled to California, arriving on October 24, 2018, the day of the murder. This is a distance of 2,184 miles. The drive time is about 32 hours. Automated license plate readers captured Levente's Jeep Patriot driving across the country. On October 24, Levente's Cricket phone communicated with his mother's phone on 20 occasions. Surveillance video from Athena's condominium complex showed that she returned home from work on October 24 at 2:39 p.m. She left again at 3:13 p.m. At 3:26 p.m., Levente parked in front of his mother's home before making a U-turn and driving away. At 3:41 p.m., Athena returned home. She could be seen outside at 6 p.m. cleaning her motor vehicle. At 6:20 p.m., video surveillance captured Levente driving north on 9th Street, about 2 blocks from his mother's residence. At about 6:34 p.m., a person could be seen walking southbound on 9th Street toward the condominium. The individual was wearing a baseball cap and Converse sneakers with white soles. The mysterious figure appeared to be talking on a cell phone. At the same time, Levente's prepaid cell phone was on a call with his mother's phone, and his phone was near her condominium. This made it seem like the mysterious pedestrian was Levente. At 10:51 p.m., a camera near the condominium complex captured the same individual leaving Athena's home and walking northbound on 9th Street. Athena's dog followed this person without a leash, which she would have only done with somebody that she knew. At 10:55 p.m., video captured Levente making a U-turn and traveling northbound on 9th Street. The dog was never located. On the next day, October 25, Levente connected his iPad to the Wi-Fi at a McDonald's restaurant in Winslow, Arizona at 11:03 a.m. He searched for several terms, including Grover Beach murder, homicide Grover Beach 9th Street, Grover Beach murder October 25, Levente Lazar suspect Grover Beach, and Levente Lazar murder Grover Beach. When he was outside Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Levente's Cricket cell phone made its last communication. When he was near Amarillo, Texas, his regular Galaxy phone was reactivated. His regular phone was back in Bloomington, Indiana on October 26, 2018 at noon. The police made contact with Levente in order to inform him that his mother was dead. He did not appear to be too broken up about it. Levente agreed to be interviewed by the police at a police station in Bloomington. He gave investigators access to his phone, financial records, apartment, as well as passwords to his electronic devices. Initially, Levente claimed that he had not been to California since January 2018, and this was the last time he saw his mother. He had not wandered more than 100 miles from Bloomington, Indiana, since then. The last time he spoke to his mother was on October 22, when they had a 2-minute phone call. Levente further claimed that he only had one phone, a Samsung Galaxy. After he was shown some of the evidence against him, Levente changed his story. He admitted that he had purchased the Cricket prepaid phone. At first, he said this was for personal reasons, but later said that he didn't want to tip off his girlfriend as to his location. His Galaxy phone was logged into a video game, which would have allowed his girlfriend to figure out where he was. Levente also admitted that he traveled to California. The purpose of his trip was to buy about 15 grams of marijuana from a dispensary. So he decided to drive almost 2,200 miles one way just to get marijuana. Levente said that after making his marijuana purchase in Los Angeles, he decided to surprise his mother with a visit. He wanted to retrieve a ring from her, which he planned on giving to his girlfriend as a promise ring. On October 24, the day Athena was murdered, he drove by her condominium at about 3:33 p.m., but he did not see her. He called her, but there was no answer. He figured that she was at work. Levente decided to drive back to Indiana without seeing her. He would have stayed, but he became worried that his mother would have demanded he stay for at least a week. Levente did not want to get stuck in California for that long. There were no witnesses to the murder. However, there was a mountain of circumstantial evidence against Levente. He was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. His trial started in October 2019. On October 21, Levente Lazar was found guilty of first-degree murder, and the jury found true the special allegation of murder for financial gain. On December 11, 2019, Levente was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Levente Lazar maintains his innocence, but there is no question that he was guilty. He had a financial motive. Electronic evidence placed him at the scene of the murder. A person who looked like him was captured on video surveillance near his mother's condominium. And before his mother's body was discovered, he made searches on the internet about a murder on 9th Street in Grover Beach. Only the killer could have known about the murder at that point. At his trial, Levente offered up a few exculpatory factors, but they were not very convincing. For example, he claimed that he had no reason to kill his mother. He was expecting to receive $186,000 when he sold his annuity in November 2018. That certainly would have taken care of all his financial obligations. Levente said the only reason he investigated the value of his mother's condominium in Woodland Hills, California, was because he wanted her to sell it and retire. As far as the internet searches about the murder in Grover Beach, Levente claimed that he conducted those searches at his mother's request because she was concerned her ex-husband would murder her. He only used his own name in the search by mistake because English was his second language. Item number 2, Levente appeared to have a problem with being deceptive. He lied about many different aspects of his life. For example, he told the police that he completed his master's thesis, but this wasn't true. His thesis, which was on the history of a Disney character, was rejected by the college because it was too long. Levente said that by using his master's degree, he was able to secure employment at Walt Disney Publishing, which is not even the correct name of Disney's publishing division. It's Disney Publishing Worldwide. Levente tried to get a job there, but was unsuccessful. Levente told the same lie about working for Disney to his girlfriend. He also told her that he worked for the federal government and was a successful day trader. In reality, Levente only worked for 6 months during his entire life. When Levente was on his homicidal excursion to California, he told his girlfriend that he was on a trip to Chicago for a stock trading conference with his father. As I mentioned, his father died when he was 5 years old. Levente even offered a curious tale to his girlfriend about this non-existent trip to Chicago. He claimed that when he was visiting a Lego megastore, he encountered Gene Simmons from the band Kiss. To explain why he was calling her from a Cricket prepaid cell phone, Levente said that his Galaxy phone was being repaired. Item number 3, what do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Levente Lazar was self-centered, impulsive, irresponsible, lazy, greedy, manipulative, deceptive, cold, callous, immature, Machiavellian, had a sense of entitlement, and was exceedingly creepy. Some fortunate financial circumstances, like receiving an annuity, allowed Levente to largely avoid having to work. Levente's financial mismanagement eroded much of his wealth. He believed himself to be a big-shot Wall Street day trader, but he didn't know anything about the stock market. Even with his mistakes, Levente could have easily paid off all his debt and had some money left over through the sale of his annuity. This wasn't good enough for Levente. He wanted more money, and he only knew of one way to get it. If his mother died, he would end up with her substantial estate. Levente developed a comically incompetent plan to conceal his location as he drove across the country to kill his mother. He even went to Best Buy and asked for a burner phone. He used those words, burner phone. He could not have been any more suspicious unless he asked for a murder phone. Levente drove his Jeep Patriot all the way to California. He communicated with his mother using the burner phone in order to arrange a meeting with her. While in her condominium, Levente approached her from behind when she was on the bed and stabbed her in the neck several times. She ended up on the floor, which is where he left her body. Levente took his mother's cell phone because he knew that it contained evidence of their communication. He also took her dog. Maybe he was worried the dog would bark and prematurely attract attention to the scene. Levente could have dropped the dog off anywhere. Again, she was never found. In case he did not leave enough evidence of his guilt behind, Levente made some incriminating searches before his mother's body was discovered. The plan that Levente developed was poorly crafted. He had essentially no chance of escaping responsibility. As I mentioned, Levente told the police that he didn't wait for his mother to return to her condominium because he was afraid she would have made him stay in California for at least a week. There was no interest in remaining in the state for such a long period of time. Considering his prison sentence in California, I guess this is just one more area where Levente did not get his way. Those are my thoughts on the case of Levente Lazar. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.